The great hall of the Galactic Council hummed with worried voices. Hundreds of alien races sat in the curved rows that rose high into the dome. Some had scales, others had fur. Some floated in tanks of special gas. Others wore suits to protect them from the air that most could breathe. Today was not a normal meeting day. The emergency lights flashed blue across the hall. Many seats remained empty as their owners rushed to arrive. Elder Tom walked slowly to the speaking platform. His blue skin looked pale under the bright lights. Though he was over 400 years old, he had never called an emergency meeting before today. Friends, allies, respected members of the council, he began, his deep voice carrying across the now quiet room. I bring grave news. The Dominion has announced plans to invade Earth. Worried whispers filled the room. The Dominion had taken over 17 star systems in just 100 years. They rarely announced their targets beforehand. This was different. We must warn them, said a small, furry representative from the outer rim. The humans deserve to know what's coming. From the higher seats, a Dominion representative named Vex stood up. His red uniform shimmered with medals and honors from past conquests. The decision is made, Vex said, showing sharp teeth as he smiled. Earth has resources we need. Their technology is primitive. They have not even settled their own star system properly. This will be an easy victory. Elder Tom raised his hand, and the room fell silent again. I have lived long enough to remember the last 3 species who thought Earth would be an easy conquest, he said quietly. None of them exist anymore. The room grew very still. Even Vex stopped smiling. The records are incomplete, Elder Tom continued. But I have gathered what we know. 300 cycles ago, the Mraz Collective sent 50 warships to Earth. None returned. Their entire civilization collapsed soon after. He touched a control, and a star map appeared above the speaking platform. Earth's solar system glowed bright blue. 200 cycles ago, the Hive Lords declared Earth would become their new breeding ground. They sent their strongest queens and 500,000 warriors. Elder Tom paused. We found the empty ships drifting near Mars. No bodies, no survivors. The Hive Lords never spoke of Earth again. Vex laughed, but the sound was forced. Ancient history and tall tales. The humans have no space fleet. Their most advanced weapons are chemical explosives and simple energy beams. From the middle seats, the representative of the telepathic Mindari stood. Her silver eyes reflected the blue emergency lights. Our deep scanning ships have studied Earth from beyond their detection range, she said. Their history is troubling. They have fought wars against themselves that killed millions. They developed atomic weapons after only 2 centuries of industrial technology. Their entertainment is filled with stories of defeating alien invaders. A rumble of concern spread through the council. The Cronian representative, a being made of living crystal, joined the discussion. Our analysis suggests humans advance most quickly when threatened. In the span of 1 human lifetime, they went from primitive flight to walking on their moon. Vex slammed his fist on the railing in front of him. Enough. The Dominion does not seek the Council's permission. We are informing you as a courtesy. The invasion fleet has already departed. Elder Tom sighed deeply. He looked much older than when the meeting began. Then we must record our warning officially, he said. The Dominion proceeds against the united advice of the Galactic Council. The humans appear weak until they are not. They appear divided until they unite. They appear primitive until they innovate. He turned to face Vex directly. The Dominion believes it is hunting easy prey, but I fear you are poking a nest of creatures you do not understand. Vex turned to leave, his red uniform catching the light. We will send you humans as slaves when this is done, old one. You can study them then. After Vex left, many council members gathered around Elder Tom. They spoke in worried tones about what might happen, not just to Earth, but to the galaxy if either side won decisively. Elder Tom looked again at the glowing blue dot that marked Earth's position. We should prepare, he told the remaining council members. No matter who wins this conflict, the galaxy will not be the same after. High above the council chamber, the Dominion war fleet moved silently through space, its course set for a small blue planet that had already buried 3 would-be conquerors. Admiral Gray stood by the large window in Earth Defense Command. His gray hair matched his name, earned through 20 years of leading Earth's hidden space defense program. Outside, the Rocky Mountains stretched into the distance under a clear blue sky. "Sir, we have multiple objects entering the solar system," said Lisa, his communications officer. Her fingers moved quickly across her screen. They just appeared near Neptune, moving fast. Gray nodded. They had prepared for this day. All those years of secret funding, hidden satellites, and underground bases were about to be tested. "How many?" he asked. 37 large ships, hundreds of smaller ones, Lisa answered. Her voice stayed calm, but her hands shook slightly. Gray pressed a button on his uniform collar. "This is Admiral Gray. Defense Condition 1. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." Across Earth, hidden doors opened in mountains, under oceans, and in what looked like ordinary buildings. Soldiers who had trained for years moved to their stations. Families headed to underground shelters built during the Cold War, but secretly expanded. "Send the greeting message on all frequencies," Gray ordered. Lisa nodded. "Message sent, sir." The message was simple. "Welcome to Earth. Please identify yourselves and state your intentions. We wish for peaceful contact." No answer came. On the largest Dominion ship, General Draz watched Earth grow larger on his view screen. His gray skin looked almost green in the light from the screen. "What a primitive world," he said to his officers. "Look at all that water going to waste." His second-in-command, Captain Lyra, studied her data screen. "Sir, they're trying to communicate with us." Draz laughed. "Ignore them. Our scouts report they barely have space stations around their own planet. Prepare the first wave. We'll take their major cities and government centers first." Lyra hesitated. "Sir, I'm detecting some unusual energy readings from what appear to be their satellites. Probably their primitive communications network," Draz said, waving his hand dismissively. "Nothing that can harm our ships." Back on Earth, Admiral Gray watched the Dominion ships approach. They had passed Mars now and showed no signs of slowing down. "They're not answering," Lisa reported. Gray took a deep breath. "Then they've made their choice. Activate the grid." Lisa pressed a series of buttons. "Grid activating." "Sir." Around Earth, thousands of what looked like ordinary satellites suddenly changed. Solar panels folded away. Communication dishes rotated to reveal weapons. Even old space junk transformed, shedding fake outer shells. In orbit, the first wave of Dominion ships approached confidently. Their scanners showed nothing that could threaten them. Then the grid fired. Beams of energy cut through 3 Dominion cruisers before they could raise their shields. The ships exploded silently in space, their debris spreading outward. On his flagship, General Draz fell from his chair as the ship shook. "What happened?" he shouted. Lyra worked frantically at her station. "Sir, 3 cruisers destroyed. The Earth satellites. Their weapons." Draz couldn't believe it. "Impossible. Our scouts reported no orbital defenses." "The satellites were disguised," Lyra explained, her voice tight with worry. "They looked like communications equipment but contained powerful weapons." Draz growled in anger. "Raise all shields. Launch fighters. Target those weapons platforms." The space around Earth erupted in battle. Dominion fighters zoomed toward the defense grid, while Earth's hidden weapons continued firing. In Defense Command, Admiral Gray watched the battle unfold on the main screen. "Grid performance at 92%, reported Tom, the weapons officer. "We've destroyed 5 major ships and at least 50 smaller craft." Gray nodded. The grid was working better than expected, but he knew it wouldn't last. "They'll adapt soon," he said. "Get the ground forces ready. This is just the beginning." On his ship, Draz watched more of his fleet take damage. This was not the easy victory he had promised his leaders. These humans were not the primitives his scouts had described. "Pull back to moon orbit," he ordered. "We need to regroup." As the Dominion ships retreated, Earth celebrated its first victory. But Admiral Gray did not join the celebration. He knew what was coming next. "They'll be back," he told his officers. "And next time, they'll come to the ground." Outside his window, the blue sky had darkened. Far above, the flashes of battle lit up the night like new stars being born and dying. The real war for Earth was just beginning. Lieutenant Kate Wilson lay flat on her stomach in the wet grass. Rain fell steadily, soaking through her camouflage suit. Through her binoculars, she watched the alien camp that had appeared 3 days ago in the forest outside Vancouver. "How many do you count?" whispered Marcus, her team's communications expert. "About 50 of the big ones," Kate replied. "Maybe 200 of the smaller troops." The Dominion had changed tactics after their space defeat. Instead of attacking major cities, they set up bases in remote areas. This one was their 5th camp in North America alone. Kate's earpiece crackled. "Teen Wolf, return to base. New orders coming in." Back at the hidden bunker, Kate and her team joined other Special Forces soldiers. The concrete walls were lined with maps and screens showing Dominion landing sites across Earth. Colonel Turner pointed to the main screen. "New intel suggests the aliens are having trouble with Earth's gravity and atmosphere. Their troops tire quickly." "That explains why they rest so much," Kate said. "They set up guard rotations every 4 hours." Turner nodded. "Exactly. And Professor Reed has more." Professor Alan Reed was an expert on alien cultures who now worked with the military. His glasses kept sliding down his nose as he spoke. "The Dominion troops are genetically engineered," he explained. "They're made to follow orders perfectly, but they can't think for themselves. If we change our tactics quickly, they get confused." Kate saw the opportunity. "So we hit them, then change how we fight before they can adapt." "Precisely," Turner said. "Global Command wants us to start guerrilla operations, hit and run. Don't follow patterns." Across the globe, similar meetings happened in hidden bases. For once, Earth's countries weren't fighting each other. They faced a common enemy, and old rivals now shared information and resources. Meanwhile, in his new ground base in the Siberian wilderness, General Draz was angry. His troops had established bases as ordered, but the humans were not surrendering as expected. "These reports make no sense," he shouted, throwing a data pad across the room. "How can these primitives resist our forces?" Captain Lyra picked up the pad. "Sir, our troops report the humans use unpredictable tactics. They attack, then disappear. They don't fight the same way twice. They're savages with simple weapons." Draz growled. "How hard can it be to defeat them?" "Sir," Lyra said carefully, "our soldiers are struggling with Earth conditions. The gravity is 15% stronger than our homeworld. The oxygen content is different. And..." She hesitated. "And what?" Draz demanded. "Our troops were engineered for direct combat. The humans don't fight directly. They set traps. They use the environment against us." Draz pounded his fist on the table. "Then we'll bring more troops. Double the invasion force." That night, Kate's team approached the alien camp again. This time, they carried special devices developed by Earth scientists who had studied destroyed alien technology. "Plant the disruptors around the perimeter," Kate ordered. "Then we hit them from the east while Team Hawk hits from the west." The small devices, each no bigger than a phone, would interfere with Dominion communications. When planted, Kate gave the signal. Suddenly, explosions erupted at the east edge of the camp. The aliens rushed to defend that side. Then Team Hawk attacked from the west, causing chaos. Inside the alien camp, commanders shouted contradicting orders as their communication systems failed. Soldiers ran in different directions, confused by attacks from multiple sides. Kate led her team straight through the middle, placing explosive charges on the aliens' equipment. They moved like shadows, in and out before the aliens could organize a response. As they retreated into the forest, Kate heard the satisfying boom of the charges detonating. Another Dominion base crippled. Similar attacks happened across Earth that night. Human teams struck 23 alien bases, destroying equipment and sowing confusion. In his Siberian base, General Draz received the reports with growing fury. "This is impossible," he shouted. "How can primitives defeat our elite forces?" Captain Lyra looked at the data carefully. "Sir, I think we need to reconsider our approach. These humans are not what our scouts reported." Draz glared at her. "Are you suggesting the mighty Dominion cannot defeat one primitive planet?" "No, sir," Lyra said quietly. "I'm suggesting we need to understand our enemy better before we can defeat them." Outside, the northern lights danced across the sky, beautiful and cold. Beneath them, two species fought for survival, one desperate to conquer, the other determined to remain free. The ground war had begun in earnest, and Earth was proving much harder to take than the Dominion had ever imagined. 3 months had passed since the Dominion first entered Earth's atmosphere. The planet's surface bore the scars of battle: burned forests, damaged cities, and crater-filled landscapes. But Earth was far from defeated. In an underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, military leaders from around the world gathered around a circular table. Maps and screens covered the walls, showing enemy positions. Admiral Gray stood to address them. "Operation Thunderstrike begins tomorrow. After months of defense, we finally strike back." Colonel Turner nodded. "My special forces have mapped all major Dominion bases. Lieutenant Wilson's teams have gathered critical intelligence on their weaknesses." On the main screen, images appeared of strange machines, walking tanks, powered armor suits, and weapons that looked like science fiction. "These have been ready for decades," Admiral Gray explained. "Built from technology we recovered from previous alien visits to Earth. We kept them secret, waiting for a day we hoped would never come." In another part of the base, Commander Jack Thompson inspected his new battle suit. The black and silver armor stood 3 meters tall, with weapons built into the arms. "How does it feel?" asked the technician. Jack moved the arms and legs, feeling the suit amplify his strength. "Like wearing a tank," he answered with a smile. His team of 20 soldiers were all being fitted with similar suits. Their mission would be the most dangerous of all: attacking the Dominion's main command center in Siberia. That night, Earth forces prepared worldwide. Hidden hangars opened to reveal advanced aircraft unlike anything seen in public before. Soldiers equipped with energy weapons moved into position near Dominion bases. At dawn, Operation Thunderstrike began. In Siberia, General Draz was awakened by alarms. He rushed to the command center, still putting on his uniform. "What's happening?" he demanded. Captain Lyra pointed to the screens. "Human attacks on all fronts, sir. Not just hit-and-run tactics. Full assaults." Draz couldn't believe what he was seeing. The humans were using technology that shouldn't exist on a planet at their development level. They moved in powered armor. They flew ships that could match Dominion fighters. "How is this possible?" he shouted. "Where did they get such weapons?" At that moment, the base shook violently. Something was attacking the outer defenses. Commander Jack Thompson led his team through the snow toward the Dominion base. Their armor protected them from the cold and gave them strength to move quickly despite the deep snow. "Team Alpha, breach the east wall," he ordered through his helmet comm. "Team Beta with me. We're going for the command center." The Dominion soldiers fired energy weapons at the approaching humans, but the advanced armor absorbed most of the impacts. Jack's team returned fire, their weapons cutting through alien defenses. Inside the base, chaos spread as alarms blared. General Draz ordered his guards to protect the command center, but they were not prepared for humans in powered armor. Jack's team blasted through the main doors. Their suits allowed them to tear through metal barriers, and overwhelmed the alien defenders. Within minutes, they reached the command center. "Secure the data systems," Jack ordered as his team subdued the Dominion officers. Only General Draz continued fighting, firing his sidearm uselessly against Jack's armor. "Surrender," Jack told him. "You've lost." Finally, Draz dropped his weapon. His eyes showed disbelief as humans took control of his command center. Jack connected a device to the Dominion computers. "Downloading their data now," he reported to headquarters. What they found shocked them all. The Dominion wasn't just conquering Earth for military glory. Their homeworld was facing a severe resource crisis. They needed Earth's abundant water and minerals to survive. "This changes everything," Admiral Gray said when he received the information. "This isn't just about defending Earth anymore. We have leverage." Across the planet, similar victories mounted. Human forces with their hidden technology overwhelmed Dominion troops who had expected to fight a primitive species. By sunset, humans had captured 5 major Dominion bases and destroyed 7 others. The invaders were in retreat for the first time. In the captured Siberian base, Jack looked at the alien star maps showing the Dominion's empire. Their homeworld glowed red on the display, marked with warning symbols indicating resource depletion. "They're desperate," he realized, "and desperate enemies are the most dangerous kind." He was right. The Dominion still had one terrible weapon they hadn't used yet, and desperation was about to push General Draz to unleash it on humanity. General Draz sat in a cell made of clear, strong material. His once proud uniform was torn and dirty. Through the clear walls, he could see humans studying Dominion technology they had captured. Despite his situation, Draz smiled. The humans didn't know about his final order. On the remaining Dominion ships hiding behind Earth's moon, Sub-Commander Torque received the pre-recorded message from General Draz. "Activate Protocol Blackfire," the message said. "The humans have proven too dangerous. Use the forbidden weapons." Torque looked at the other officers on the bridge. "Prepare the pathogen missiles," he ordered. "Target their largest population centers." But Captain Lyra, who had been quiet since their defeat, spoke up. "This violates Galactic Council treaties," she said. "These weapons are banned throughout civilized space." "The General's orders are clear," Torque snapped. "Do you question the Dominion's will?" Lyra looked at the blue planet on their view screen. "I question whether we should become monsters just because we're losing a war we started." Before Torque could respond, Lyra moved quickly. She pressed her emergency transporter device and vanished from the bridge. At Earth Defense Command, alarms sounded as sensors detected an unauthorized transport signal. "Intruder in Section 4, a voice called out. Guards surrounded Lyra, who stood with her hands raised. "I need to speak to your leaders," she said. "The Dominion is about to launch bioweapons against Earth." Admiral Gray studied the Dominion officer carefully. "Why would you warn us?" "Because even enemies should have honor," Lyra replied. "The weapons they plan to use are forbidden by galactic law. They cause slow, painful death." Gray nodded to the guards. "Take her to secure meeting room 3. I'll hear what she has to say." Lyra revealed everything: the planned attack, the pathogen formulas, and the locations of the remaining Dominion ships. "I can help you develop countermeasures," she offered. "The pathogens are designed to target human biology." Gray looked skeptical. "Why should we trust you?" "Because I've just betrayed my people and will be executed if they catch me," Lyra said simply. "My life is in your hands now." Gray made his decision. Get her to Dr. Rodriguez immediately. In a high-security laboratory, Dr. Maria Rodriguez worked with her team day and night. Lyra provided the information they needed to create defenses against the coming biological attack. The Dominion designed these pathogens to attack human DNA. Dr. Rodriguez explained to Admiral Gray, "But we can use their own technology against them." She showed him a vial of silver liquid. "These are nanites, tiny machines that can target specific genetic markers. We've programmed them to protect humans and attack Dominion biology." Gray looked concerned. You're suggesting we use their weapons against them. They're not weapons, Rodriguez corrected. They can't hurt Earth life. They'll only disable Dominion troops, non-lethally if we choose. 3 days later, the Dominion launched their attack. Missiles streaked through Earth's atmosphere, releasing clouds of engineered pathogens over major cities. But Earth was ready. Counter-missiles intercepted many of the attacks. In cities, special equipment sprayed the nanite solution into the air, neutralizing the pathogens and spreading protective nanites to the population. Then Earth struck back. Rockets carried the modified nanites to the Dominion ships hiding behind the moon. The microscopic machines slipped through air filters and ventilation systems. On the Dominion command ship, Sub-Commander Torque suddenly collapsed. All around him, other officers fell to the floor. None died, but none could move either. The nanites had temporarily paralyzed their nervous systems. Earth forces quickly captured the disabled ships and arrested the crews. In his cell, General Draz received the news of his fleet's capture with shock. "Impossible," he whispered. "How could they defeat our most terrible weapons?" Admiral Gray visited him later that day. "Your bioweapons failed," he said, "and we've captured your remaining ships." Draz glared at him. "The Dominion will send more forces. We will never stop until Earth is ours." Gray shook his head. "I don't think so. We've sent messages to your homeworld using your own communication systems. We've offered to help solve your resource crisis in exchange for peace." Draz laughed bitterly. "You think that will work?" "We'll see," Gray replied. "Because right now we have something else to worry about. The Galactic Council fleet has just entered our solar system. Outside Earth's atmosphere, hundreds of ships from different alien civilizations appeared. The Galactic Council had decided to intervene, but not for the reasons anyone expected. Elder Tom stood on the bridge of the Asteri flagship, watching Earth grow larger on the view screen. Behind his ship, 200 vessels from different species of the Galactic Council followed. "It's a beautiful planet," said Mira, his assistant. "So much water and green land." Tom nodded. "Beautiful, yes. And now potentially the most dangerous planet in the galaxy." Reports had reached the Council about Earth's surprising victory over the Dominion forces. What troubled the Council most wasn't that humans had won. It was how they had won. Humans adapted Dominion technology and improved it within days. Tom explained to the Council representatives gathered on his ship. They had hidden advanced weapons. They reverse-engineered alien technology from previous encounters. They used nanite technology in ways we've never seen before. The Cronian representative's crystal body flashed with concern. A species that can defeat the Dominion so quickly could threaten galactic peace if they decide to expand beyond their world. Many council members agreed. They had come not to help Earth, but to contain what they now saw as a potential threat. Only Elder Tom urged caution. "We should observe how humans handle victory before judging them. Let us meet with them first." Earth's leaders gathered in an emergency session when the Council fleet entered orbit. Admiral Gray showed them the message he had received. "They want to meet," he said, "but their message suggests they're worried about us, not the Dominion." President Lin, who led the global emergency government, looked troubled. "After fighting for our survival, we now have to convince the galaxy we're not dangerous. We should show them we're peaceful," suggested General Yamamoto, "but also that we're strong enough that attacking us would be a mistake." They decided to meet the Council representatives at a neutral location, the International Space Station, which had survived the conflict with only minor damage. As the Council shuttle docked with the station, tension filled the air. Earth's leaders waited nervously. This meeting would decide humanity's place in the galaxy. Elder Tom led the Council delegation. His ancient blue eyes widened slightly as he entered the station and saw humans up close for the first time in centuries. "Welcome to Earth," President Lin said. "We thank the Council for coming, though we wish you had arrived before the Dominion attacked our world." Tom bowed slightly. "The Council regrets not taking more decisive action to prevent the conflict, but now we face a new situation." The Mindari representative stepped forward, her silver eyes studying the humans. Our scans show your people have captured Dominion ships intact and are already adapting their technology. You have weapons that should be beyond your development level. Admiral Gray nodded. We did what was necessary to survive, just as any of your species would. But this rapid advancement concerns us, said the Cronian. The balance of power in our galaxy is delicate. President Lin's expression hardened. We didn't ask to join your galactic community. The Dominion forced that decision upon us. Now you fear us because we refuse to be conquered. The council members looked uncomfortable. Elder Tom raised his hand to calm the tension. We don't fear you because you fought back, he explained. We're concerned because of intercepted communications showing your military leaders discussing how to use captured Dominion ships to build a human fleet. Jack Thompson, who had been quiet until now, stepped forward. Of course we're building defenses. The Dominion attacked us without provocation. How do we know others won't do the same? For several tense moments, silence filled the room. Then Elder Tom surprised everyone. Humans are right to be cautious, he said. But the Council is also right to be concerned about rapid military advancement. He turned to his fellow Council members. I propose we offer Earth provisional membership in the Galactic Council. This would give them protection under our laws, while also requiring them to follow our regulations on technology development. The other aliens murmured among themselves. This was not what they had expected. And if we decline? President Lin asked. Tom's expression grew serious. Then Earth would be considered an unaligned world. The Council could not prevent other species from attempting what the Dominion failed to do. It wasn't quite a threat, but the meaning was clear. Join us, or face the galaxy alone. As the meeting continued in orbit, on Earth people watched the skies nervously. After defeating one alien threat, they now faced a choice that would forever change humanity's future. Meanwhile, in several secret locations around the planet, engineers continued working day and night on the captured Dominion ships, racing to understand their faster-than-light drives before the Council made its final decision. 6 months after the first Dominion ships entered Earth's atmosphere, Admiral Gray stood before the full Galactic Council in their Great Hall. Thousands of alien representatives watched from their seats, curious about the humans who had defeated the mighty Dominion. Gray wore his formal uniform, decorated with new medals created to honor those who fought in Earth's first interstellar war. Behind him stood General Draz and 5 other high-ranking Dominion officers in restraints. Representatives of the Galactic Council, Gray began, his voice steady. Earth comes before you today, not as conquerors, not as victims, but as equals. The Great Hall remained silent. Many council members had expected humans to be primitive or aggressive. Instead, they saw discipline and dignity. The Dominion attacked our world without provocation. Gray continued. They planned to take our resources and enslave our people. We defended ourselves, as any of your species would. He gestured to the Dominion prisoners. We could have executed these officers for war crimes. Their use of forbidden bioweapons alone would justify such action under your own laws. Several council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. They had expected humans to demand revenge. Instead, Gray said, we offer to return all Dominion prisoners in exchange for 2 things: reparations to rebuild what was destroyed, and formal recognition of Earth's independence and sovereign status. Murmurs spread through the hall. This was not what anyone had expected. Elder Tom stood from his seat. You make no demand for Dominion territory, no claim to their ships or technology. Gray shook his head. Earth does not seek conquest. We seek security and peaceful relations. We will keep some captured ships for our defense, but we have no interest in the Dominion's worlds. He displayed holographic evidence of the Dominion's bioweapon attack and their violation of Council treaties. The images showed clearly how Captain Lyra had defected to warn Earth, and how humans had developed defenses that disabled rather than killed their enemies. We also offer to help the Dominion resolve their resource crisis. Gray added, Earth has developed efficient water purification and mineral extraction technologies. We will share these freely as a gesture of peace. The council chamber erupted in discussion. Many members were impressed by the humans' restraint. Others remained suspicious of such generosity. After hours of debate, Elder Tom announced the council's decision. The Galactic Council grants Earth provisional membership status. He declared, full membership will be considered after a probationary period of 5 Earth years. Gray bowed respectfully. Earth accepts these terms. As the formal meeting ended and the prisoners were transferred to Dominion representatives, Elder Tom approached Gray privately in a small side chamber. You surprised many today, human, Tom said. Most expected demands for revenge or territory. Gray smiled slightly. Then they don't understand humans very well. Tom's ancient eyes studied Gray carefully. Perhaps I should tell you something I've told no one else. I visited Earth centuries ago. Gray looked surprised. You were on our world before. Tom nodded. I left warnings in what you call mythology. Stories of sky gods and the dangers they might bring. I hope to prepare your people, subtly. Why would you do that? Gray asked. Because I saw potential in humans that reminded me of my own people's early days, Tom explained. Great capacity for creation and destruction. Strong emotions that drive both cruelty and kindness. He placed a 4-fingered hand on Gray's shoulder. Your people were always meant for greatness, but remember that mercy is what truly separates civilization from conquest. As Gray left the council chamber to return to Earth, news of what happened spread quickly throughout the galaxy. Other species began reassessing humans, seeing them not just as fierce warriors, but as a complex civilization. On Earth, people celebrated their new place in the galaxy. Schools began teaching about alien cultures. Scientists worked with council experts to develop new technologies. The first human embassy opened on the council's central world. In a quiet ceremony, Captain Lyra received Earth citizenship and a new position helping humans understand galactic politics. Her knowledge would prove invaluable in the years ahead. As Earth's first starship prepared for its maiden voyage, Admiral Gray stood at the window of his office, looking at the stars with new understanding. We're not alone anymore, he thought as he watched the night sky. And we're not afraid. The stars no longer seemed distant and cold, but full of possibilities and new beginnings for humanity's great adventure among them.